Hello everyone, ke nna Keratile Israel. Welcome to another episode of Diamoko Podcast. I'm with your host, Raymond Maten.
That was a good introduction. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to start with is that I want you to take me through your journey in relation to academy. I know what it. Let me say anything about it. Just tell me whatever happened about what you have done.
Yeah. So starting go junior school. I agree you mean that far back. Yeah. Okay, junior school. Junior school, I was just another student, hella amongst other students. I didn't really think about excelling beyond getting a grade in senior school. So it was just that. I got my B's and a couple of D's here. And then I made it to senior school. Senior school was where I started to have an inkling or an idea of what I knew. No, this is what I want to do in life. So there was a bit of a change, and there was more dedication to my schoolwork than go junior school. And that's how I was able to get 45 points. Go senior. So I was in a pure science class, but I was never someone who studied science. So towards exams, I dropped my sciences and I wrote a double. So we get like 2 A stars. So those 2 A stars created a problem for me. I guess I could go university. Because now people were telling me go for a science course because of study science. And there is a better future there than any other field in tertiary. So feeling that pressure, I ended up, it's a science course. 2017, I was enrolled go UB under environmental health. But Ella?
Sorry for question. Before you
yes.
proceed, I want to know, where was the pressure coming from? Was it coming from your parents? Was it coming from your friends? Just people that
yes.
around?
Yes, the pressure was mostly coming from the people around and some of my family members. But my mother, I was raised by only my mother. She was someone she was supportive of my decisions. So she basically just stood this one out. She never had a comment in what I wanted to do. She's the one who let me decide for myself what I was studying. So the pressure mainly came from people by they are around here. Everyone have find out the grades I had, but they were not going for a science course. That's a guarantee you'll get a job and all that. So yeah, it wasn't my mother. That one and I was just out. And people expect it would be the parent who gives you that pressure, but in this case, it's actually different. It wasn't her. Yeah. So I'm going to go University of Botswana, environmental health. And from the get-go, I got stressed because when you go university, there are so many options. You realize you could be doing something else entirely. There is that course go humanities, there is that course go business. You don't necessarily have to do everything. You go senior school where you do sciences, maths, and everything. Yeah. So that pressure got to me, and I didn't like sciences. I didn't have love for them. So I got stressed, and I went through withdrawals from people. I was always confined to my room. But it wasn't actually working. I had so many late night studies with my friends, tests and everything. But still, I did not feel fulfilled. I was not satisfied. I was not content. And I went through a period where I had lost so much weight that it became noticeable.
So the thing is, you couldn't bear that. You couldn't bear the fact that you're not fulfilled and content with what you're doing.
Yes.
So that led you to losing weight.
Yes. Yeah, I went through. I could call it depression. It wasn't diagnosed, but I could call it that. Some element of it. Yeah. So another thing that stressed me out was that where I'm from, my mother is not financially. She's not financial. I think. She doesn't have the means. So it was a problem again to think, if I pull out of this course, it means I terminate my sponsorship, and when I come back, I have to be responsored for that semester. So that was another thing I was actually afraid of. But again, I was also terrified of continuing and getting my fail and discontinue in the very first semester. But when I got home one day, she's the one who realized I was actually not okay. And then she approached me and she asked me what was going on. She forced me to open up about it. And I did. I told her, I don't like the course I'm doing, and to change from this to this means I have to be sponsored. What I love is writing. What I love is languages. So she did not even think about it for a second. She just told me, you know what, if that's what you want to do, then I will support you and I'll get your sisters to help. Because my sisters are all older and employed. They all have jobs. So I know, I'll get your sisters to help. And she did that. Immediately after I got that validation from my mother, I knew I was done with the sciences. I went to school, wrote the letter of withdrawal, sent it to the department, and I was basically done. So come 2018, that's when now I started again in the Bachelor of Arts Humanities, English and African Languages and Literature. So things changed then. I was a different person. I was more excited about the field that I was in.
Okay. Before you proceed, I want to understand this. I want to know about the turnaround movement. Like,
Yes.
what really clicked? Or was it something that someone said? Was it something that you read about? Was it something that you listened to something, a podcast? Someone say something to you to make that turnaround in your life?
To change from the sciences and everything, to realize what I can.
To realize you can do something
Yeah,
that you want to do,
yeah.
change to something that you
Yeah, no, it was a movie.
It was
It was a movie. There's a movie called Three Idiots. It's an Indian film.
Yeah.
It's just, it basically talks about distance, the pressure you get, whereby your fate is decided before you even have a choice. You're told, this is the one path you're supposed to take. You stick to it, and then this is where you're supposed to end up. So when I watched that movie, there was the one of the main actors, Nabua, about something, or make your passion your career, then you'll never work a day in your life. So the motivation behind that movie pushed me even further to realize, but I'm not content. This is not my passion. And I realized then and then, you know what, maybe I should actually rethink this whole thing, because I was struggling and I was not happy. There was not a day in where I did not worry. There was not a day in where I did not regret my decision. So to realize there are so many people that actually deal with that through that film, you go, okay, no, but this is actually good advice. No one gave me that advice, but I saw it in a movie and I took it. That's when I realized, no, I have to have this conversation with my mom. She approached me. Yeah.
Israel, I understand that it wasn't easy for you because there are so many students right now. There are so many people. What I understand is that many people are frustrated. People right now, that people who are actually having good jobs and making good money and stuff like that. But what I know is that most people are frustrated because of this pressure that came when they were finishing the Form 5, pressure that came from their peers, pressure that came from parents. I was a victim of that also.
Yeah.
So I understand that there are people who don't have the boldness to say, you know what, no, I want to withdraw from the course that I'm doing. I want to withdraw from this path that I was supposed to take by my parents and my peers. So I want to know, I understand that it wasn't hard for you to do that. It was hard, rather, for you to make that decision. So, how are you able to do that?
Yeah.
So for you to think what is
Yeah. It wasn't. So it was Ken who approached me first. I knew I was gonna talk to her, but when I got home, I was scared to even bring it up. But then she approached me, and when I became everything that is going on, but this is what's gonna happen. And then I remember when I actually brought it up, I told her, if it's anything, I'll try and find a job in this period I won't be going to school, so that I can at least finance my first semester. But she just told me, you know what, don't worry about that. We're gonna take care of it. Don't worry about that. So after having that difficult conversation, everything then just became easy. That there were people that protested, you're giving up a science course for a humanities course. That's just, that's not something you do. That's not something you hear people, what do they do every day? Yeah. So there were people that opposed it. But now I told myself, if the person I have told myself I'm going to do everything for. If she approves, no, you can change, we're going to help. Yeah, that's all that matters. Because she's the one willing, she's been there for me. When everything that I went through, she's the person I turned to, and she never disappointed. This is actually mentioned in the movie as well. When the other student wanted to withdraw, the dad now were getting neighbors. What will neighbors think? And then the son replied, those neighbors were not there for me when I was uncomfortable. You were the one who sacrificed your comfort for my own comfort. So that's something that my mother always did.
Shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom, because I know some parents, imagine a case where you are facing pressure from your peers and from your parents.
Yeah.
That is the most difficult.
Yeah.
But at least I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was better in such a way that at least your mom was.
Yeah, she was not one of the people just stick it out. Stick it out until the end. Yeah, she was my greatest supporter from the beginning. Yeah. So when I got into this course, everything fell into place. Yeah, that's when you realize, but this is what I should have been doing all along. Because something also that I've realized is you can actually do your passion. Okay, finish it. After you're done with your passion, that's when you can sit down and think, okay, but now let me try this thing, this other thing. I'm not interested in. Let me see how you can also do that. You have that choice. It doesn't necessarily mean from the start you should do something. It's a guaranteed gateway to a life you want, to that soft life. You can start with something it defines who you are, and then along the way you can pause it and then do something the majority is going for, or that one person is going for, and then try to balance the two. Bring your passion and that idea, this is how you make it together, and try to make something of it.
And then what is soft life? What is soft life? This is the most
yeah. No, I feel if you have that thing that you call your passion in your hand, and then you take this something, you feel it's something that you just have to do, and then you combine it with your passion, it forms some sort of foundation for both peace and sacrifice. You can't have comfort without sacrifice most of the time. Yeah. So when you bring these two together, they can actually give you both peace and the hardship. But at the end of the day, you'll be content in knowing, but I did do this thing, I did end up doing this thing. So they cannot be peace without comfort. You have to have some sort of comfort to have peace. So if you have satisfied your own needs, but this is something I love, this is something I need to do, you have satisfied that.
The first thing that you have to satisfy is your passion.
Yes.
And that's when you can do that.
Yes. Now that's how I see it. Some people will tell you, do this thing first before you do your passion, I get it, so that you have something to fall back on.
But imagine for 4 years of no peace and...
Yeah. I believe for you to excel, you have to love what you're doing. Yeah. These people, they excel in these things. They love those things. They love their sciences. They love their maths. I loved my course. That's how I excelled in my course.
But the funny thing is that there are some people that we look up to. We look up to Elon Musk. We look up to Bill Gates. The funny thing is that those people that you look up to, they actually do what they love.
Yeah.
But now, on the other hand, what I would say, is the right thing to do. Not the right thing, good thing to do, but bad.
Yeah.
But if people buy for example, can you see those guys with that team as well? Elon Musk, those guys are passionate about what they're doing. They're able to come up with exceptional ideas because what? They're passionate.
Yeah.
So that these can be themselves in front of us and like making money through that. Yeah. But you're looking up to them, you're on the other hand, you're introducing what society can.
Yeah. I think it's the people around us. The people around us are the people who they impact what we do. We are not living our lives for ourselves, we are living for them. And that's the biggest mistake we can make. These Bonepo, Bill Gates and everything, that people you find they don't even have college degrees and qualifications. But they decided, you know what, but this is my passion, I'm going to pursue my passion and make the most of it. My lecture, my professor told me, Maloba, find that one thing that you are passionate about and make sure you succeed in it. Become the best in it. Like when you are the best in it, you become that person who people turn to. People ask for advice. You are that person who people know her, but there's this person in this field. So fields are congested. You just have to find something there where you do differently in that field to become the best in that field. Yeah.
Because I know what also. I remember when I wanted to I wanted to do marketing.
Yeah.
So I was told, no, maybe I wasn't told. Detail at that time, it wasn't sponsored marketing because apparently the market was saturated. There's so many marketing students in the Botswana.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it. I just told myself, you know what, I just want to do this thing because I know what I'm going to stand out and be different.
Yeah. No, you have to have that. You have to have that belief in yourself. Or you don't just do that to fall in with the statistics. Then I did this course and now he's done. You have to know how I'm doing this, and when I'm doing this, this is what I'm going to do differently. This is what I'm going to do for stand out. I stand out from the majority by they came with you in that course. So when you find that one thing you like, you have to find that one different thing makes you unique out of the majority of the people by you are with, or the people that even came before you. Because it's possible to excel even before the people that came before you. Even the people that have been in that field, known in that field for a long time. Yeah, it's possible to come and then take your reign as well. So you have to also look at it that way. If I take my passion and then I make it my baby, this is how I'm going to raise it. Yeah, this is how I'm going to feed it. This is how I'm going to take care of it. This is how I'm going to nurture it.
One thing that I know is that for sure, when you begin, you're going to start. It's going to be a hassle.
Yeah.
And then some people are not willing to go through that hassle that is going to take you a short period of time.
Yeah.
But after that, it's going to be good because you do something that you love.
Yeah.
And money is going to become your second result.
Yeah. When you're doing something that you love, money is more of a reward because the content, the happiness comes from being in your element and excelling in that field. At some point you even forget, but I'm doing this for the money. You just think, but I'm doing this because I love it. Obviously you eat, you have clothes, you have shelter, you have everything. When you have those things out of something that you love, now that something is going to grow even bigger. It's going to give you more than you had even hoped for. And then when you will not even be focusing on the bigger things that are coming, but you'll still be expanding it. You may wake up one day and then realize, but I've actually expanded my empire into this big thing. You didn't realize it all along because it was like, it felt so easy. It came so easy to you. My journey through these 4 years of humanities, they came easy. When people usually ask me, how did you do it? I usually tell them, it was both hard work and easy. It was both hard and simple because the hardship came from meeting deadlines, from satisfying a board of lectures. They marked my essays, they analyzed what I was thinking, they analyzed my thoughts and decided, is this worth it? Did I make sense in what I was writing? And the easy part came from the fact that I understood it because I loved it. I gave it time. I gave myself time to understand what I was doing. And then I formed those friendships, had those friendships with the lecturers. They knew me as someone who met deadlines. They knew me as someone who was reliable when they needed something. So when you are in that element and you realize, but these are the people that are the best in the field that you're exposed to right now, you have to make sure you build those relationships. If something happens, they think of you first. But we did have this student 1, 2, 3. So my 4 years in UB was both hard and simple. Hard in that I had to be the best to myself, not to everyone else. I just had to prove it to myself. I said I loved this. Now let me prove I love this indeed. And even in that journey of proving it, I just never expected this would be the end result. I just knew, I can get it to this point, but I didn't think, I can get it even further than that point. So when you are...
Before you go towards the end of it, let's just pass now for
okay.
So we'll continue.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, just going to go into our break now. We'll be back soon. Thank you. Welcome to the show, everyone. So Israel is going to take us through towards the end of his journey. Mr. Israel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, so towards the end, the final year, that's when I started to entertain the idea of but maybe I can actually try my best to finish at the top as well, amongst the top students in the university. I had a friend, but I have a friend. So I remember one day we had a conversation, and then she just expressed, we're the best student this year. And I took it lightly as well, because there are so many students, most school, and you don't ever imagine yourself or you can actually be the best. To me, that is something that I always deemed it's impossible. You always have a certain perception of yourself, or you think, no, I can achieve excellence, but to this point. You don't ever think, but actually I can go beyond that point. You only entertain that idea to something else, and then the rest you may feel it's impossible or improbable. So towards the end, that's when I realized actually I was wrong to think I cannot actually do the impossible. So after that, that's when I started to realize nothing is actually really impossible if you put your mind to it, if you believe in it. Especially since no, this is my target, and I achieved my target. So I realized you can set a target for yourself and go beyond it. You don't expect to go beyond it, but you hope to go beyond it. And once you go beyond it, there is more that you don't know awaiting you. So I've started adopting that in my life. You know what? I'll always set a target, and then where that target takes me, I know it's something that will actually make me even more content and will make a name for myself. So I've started to entertain those ideas that nothing is impossible. So it was a week before graduation when I got the call. I was talking to someone from UB and I should come to, it was on Saturday, and I should come to school on Sunday. It was a guideline, a speech, because I'm supposed to give the speech, and that's when she told me, she mentioned on the phone, and because you are the Valedictorian, 2022, it was on the phone. I remember I was actually at work. I had a piece job in a shop called Rail Park. So she called. I had missed the call, but I found it about 20 minutes later, and then I called back. So I and all that. Come get the speech because of 1, 2, 3. So hearing those words, it was unbelievable. It's something that you don't actually expect. Yeah, because there was like 30 to 40 minutes left before the chase. So the entire time I was just on cloud 9. Hell, I was just thinking in my head back and forth. Yeah. Is this really happening? And then after that, I called my mom after and she's been the happiest person.
I want to understand, how did you explain it to your mom? How did you explain it to her?
The UB people called me and they told me I'm the valedictorian Ghana. That means
So she understood what it meant?
No, she didn't. She didn't. And then Ghana, that's a top achiever and the best student in the whole university. Wow. But before that, she had heard from someone this is possible. We have someone who go UB. It's possible because no nominated people. And I was on the list. So when I confirmed it, that's when the excitement overtook her. Yeah, everything just. It was.
Did she relate or something?
Not over the phone. Not over the phone, but she was I can't even describe her happiness. She was the happiest. My sisters were happier. Eish, everyone was very excited. You don't expect it.
And like I'm trying to imagine what those people when they are very happy in the stage.
Yeah.
How did they feel? Kind of the funny is that those people can actually come to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they haven't actually. They haven't approached me, but they were told, and their reaction was telling. But there was no excitement. Can I tell someone something that's huge? There's a certain there's a certain reaction. Yeah. It's very huge. So there's a certain reaction that you're looking for. I'm not sure. The first day in Karho graduated 1.1 or 1.2. The second day I think 1.4 or 1.5.
Just imagine from
that is very huge. So you look at someone's reaction when you tell them, these are the news. Oh, congrats. That's how some reacted. Others just could not even grasp the idea of it, because then I couldn't even grasp it. They just had the same reaction as I did. So since then, my mom has been the happiest person ever on earth, and that is the biggest reward I think I got out of all of this, because she believed in me. To actually think, I changed courses from this to this one, and then at the end, this is what happened. It shows when you can realize, but no, I'm actually not in the right path, and then you change paths to something else. Realizing that, and actually acting on it, can have these type of rewards in the end. So I just always imagine, had I stayed in that course, what would have happened? I feel I would have failed that first semester. And then after that, even coming back, I would have been even more depressed, and maybe that would have overshadowed these results as well. And I came back even more happy because I had that support from my mother. And throughout, like a local school, in these 4 years, because there was a period where I stayed home. I commuted for 2 years, getting accommodation in school. Even like an allowance, total allowance in but she didn't complain, because she's someone who long valued education. So she has been patient throughout this entire journey, and it meant the world. This is how it ended, and it was all worth it in the end. So I believe sometimes it's better to take risks if you believe in those risks, because sometimes you can fail, but if that failure pushes you even more, then that is even better, because you have to fail to realize how much you want something. No, but I didn't perform as much as I wanted in a first test or second test. Then I knew exam time I would have to make sure I make up for those marks. So that is what I always made sure happens. Every time I had a low mark, I knew no, exam time I have to be better than this, because I knew I was better than that. I was doing something that I loved. I knew I can't actually entertain marks that were less than what I knew I was capable of.
So Israel, I want to know about during the conversations. When you're called on stage, how do you feel? How's the environment? I'm sure people are staging, they were sleeping, and stuff. Your mamas, I saw that you had a picture of your mamas hugging you. So how was the feeling?
There was excitement and nervousness at the same time, because you have to stand in front of these people. I get it the first time you're called, and then you stand. Everyone is waiting for that moment. So the minute I end the program, now we're moving on to the conferment of the Valedictorian. That's when everyone woke up. I saw their reactions when the MC announced that. That's when everyone woke up, because everyone was waiting for that moment. So they called me. I went to the podium. There was so much cheerness in the hall. So you're just sitting there in that position, they're reading your citation, you don't know what to do. But there's still that excitement. There's still that, because my mom and my sister, my mom and sisters were in the audience, and they were the biggest cheerers out of everyone. Even as I went to the podium to give the speech, it was them mostly, and then everyone else. So you have that easiness because you have these people that are they've been your colleagues and your classmates for the past 4 and 5 years, and they are just as excited as you are to see you up there. They don't know who you are, but they know you are one of them. So I think that made it easy for me because I was able to do what I was supposed to do, give the speech and then take my seat. But it was still something it was unexpected because I even did it in front of the president in the first day. So that was sort of, there was nervousness in that essence, where I'm actually going to give a speech in front of the president.
Happy the other thing is that like when you get there, you can sometimes forget about the excitement and what's an
yeah.
I have to give the speech and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. That happens. But in this case, I was actually more calm than I had expected. I expected fear. Yeah. I expected to be more nervous, but I think when you realize people are as excited as you are, it becomes different. You feel you're in a safe environment where everyone shares the same sentiments as you do, and they're just waiting to hear you talk for the first time. So before I even went up there, because my mom came and gave me a hug, I'm glad the moment was actually captured on camera, so it was actually one of the best highlights of the day. Yeah. Yeah.
One thing that I know is that there's this feeling that you get.
Yeah.
Okay, you are called to high school.
Yeah.
So you have this excitement, but then there's this look that you see from your mom's face. This look I'm so proud of you that you see. I remember the day that I got here.
Yeah.
I was excited when I got here. It was.
Yeah.
But seeing my mom coming to you to come and hug, I cried.
Yeah.
I was seeing myself.
Yeah.
What is happening? It's in this work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see your mom being proud of you.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how did you feel when you saw your mom at hug?
No. I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I think it's because I don't know. I didn't cry, but yeah, yeah,
the fact that she's proud of you,
yeah,
it has that different
it does,
feeling.
yeah. I think that made me calm down even more after Haga.
Nice.
I think that eased me even more into that moment. So that's one of the things that I'm more fulfilling about getting something is regarded as a great achievement. Seeing the people that matter to you being as excited as you are, or even more than you are, because it makes you feel no, but I have actually done something worthwhile for them. I've given them something. They will always remember this little kid did this, and my mom. Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't even expect. I didn't even expect it to blow in that instant because I got on say in the seat after the speech.
Tell me about this speech. What was it about?
There's a specific guideline that you follow when you give the speech. It's in regard to the school, and then in regard to how you did it, in regard to it's basically talk about your whole experience and the whole journey and what you got out of that university. And my speech incorporated that. And one thing also that I highlighted was the importance of my lecturers. They have been there for me whenever I needed the assistance. And then there was also the motivational part for the people I was graduating with. When you finish school, you have those people immediately they're employed or immediately they're called for internships, attachments, and all that. Some I get to go for attachments during their courses, and then after they're done with school, they're called come what. And then you have those that still don't have anything, like myself right now. So there can be that sort of element of but this is not fair. it's slow, it's taking too long. Why is nothing happening for me yet? So it was talking about exercising patience and trying to build a momentum and realizing that it doesn't necessarily have to come in a form of employment to make something impactful. It's just realizing this is what I can do in the meantime to be something else. So it was just, and then there was another part where now I had to thank my mom, who's been the best supporter, and then thank my sisters, thank everyone that has made it possible for me to have been in that moment. So it was just touching on those few important things that you realize, but I cannot stand up there and not actually mention. Yeah.
So you're still speaking about the moment
after the speech, I sat down and then I got online. It had so many messages. So that's when I realized it actually blew up, and within a second, it was already trending on Facebook. So basically, there were those messages, screenshots from the live thingy, and others from the newspapers, city online newspapers, Udumabo, BW page. So yeah. So it was exciting, and it was for someone who I don't like attention that much. So that was something I was just waiting for it to cool down. To cool down, because I don't like being in the spotlight. Most of I'm very conserved and you're reserved. Yes. I'm introverted. I'm reserved. I just keep to my own most of the time. I prefer my own space. So I don't like being in the spotlight, because when you're in the spotlight, and now everything you do is being monitored and it's critiqued and all that.
So like I'm trying to imagine you maybe at the ceremony. How was it?
Yeah. No, everywhere I went, people stopped me, took pictures. I took pictures with so many people excavating. And it was exciting. It was very exciting. Even though I don't like attention, it's still exciting to actually be called out. Hi, Tlarawena, congratulations, you deserve this and all that. Because I got those from so many people that actually acknowledged what I did and realized what I did. So it is sort of exciting to realize so many people were just as excited as I was. So after the ceremony, it was just those, and then I went home, came back for the second ceremony, and that was when my class was graduating. So it was even louder than on Thursday, because
you were called on the first ceremony.
Twice. So the second day was my classmates were there. It was even louder. It was
I remember what the census graduation.
It was Sciences Thursday. So I was there with the course, and then I left it. So I was just there like an outsider, but still I was in the safe environment. We are still colleagues, we're still people in the same institution, basically having the same dream of finishing with top of our class, at the top of our class, and then making something worthwhile for ourselves. So and then Friday now was people by Langore, they knew me personally. We've been together for 4 years, and it was even more louder than Thursday. It was even before then I had trended more Facebook on Thursday. So even those that didn't know me, Baba graduated on Friday, already knew me before the day came. So it was even louder. It was even more exciting. It was just fun to live in that moment.
Okay, so now let us talk about the plans that you have after all these achievements.
So right now, because one of the biggest things, what I wanted to do when I went into this course was to write stories, fiction mostly. I have been working on those few projects. I have one short story that got published in July before everything was done, and then I had one that I submitted just recently for the Commonwealth Short Story Competition. So I'm hopeful for that. And I have, I think 3 novels that I'm working on, but one of them is the one that is actually near completion. I'm trying to look for publishers by I can work with to try and bring it to the market. Try and find editors, but they can actually help me mold it into something. But also, I'm still going through the process where I'm thinking, because I want to continue with school. I want to do my master's and then immediately do my PhD. I'm still at that point. I'm trying to decide which master's do I want to do. I have so many options. I'm considering. It's still something I'm thinking about. But what I do want is to continue on until I'm called Dr. Israel, until I have that title by my name. So I'm applying also for schools outside to try and push that agenda. So in the meantime, I'm still trying to sort out a few things. I think I'm engaged with the Deputy Dean Go Humanities, Professor Tapelo Otlogetse. He's asked me to assist him in his dictionary, Botswana. He's converting it into a dictionary, Abana. So that's something I'm currently engaged with right now. He's one of the people that have been really helping me throughout this journey, and someone is helping me with these applications for schools. He's giving me advice. He's becoming a mentor to me, and so I'm still trying to adjust to that life after school.
So like all the 4 years that you've been in UP, you never had a mentor?
Not in the sense, no, I have a mentor here. I had lectures by I knew if I needed something, assistant, I could actually call. I could actually talk to, I could actually see about so many things. When they would talk to me, they want something. So the time my lectures made it easy for me to feel but I actually have people looking out for me. I have people they have realized my potential and they want to see me succeed. So in a sense, it was like, oh, I'm going to be your mentor. I never had that, but it's something that came natural from these people. They've been with me for the 4 years of my studies.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, so now I want a word of motivation, because there are people right now, maybe students who are watching, they're victims of what you want.
Right?
So they want to leave their causes, they want to withdraw, but they cannot because they don't have that courage to do it. So what can you say to them? And just general advice that you can say to them.
Yes. We all have different struggles, but that's the first thing to realize, we're all not the same. And one thing that I can say to everyone out there is to find that one thing that excites you the most. That's something when you think about it, you feel but this is something I can do without being pushed or forced into it, and being forced to love it. Once you identify that thing, you feel this is something that I can actually grow into. This is something that I can make a name out of. Try to find a way to do it. You can have people always talk. That's one thing we have to understand. People always talk. You do something, they will either critique it or praise it. You will never have people they always praise. There will be that one person who critique. And the thing about people is that it's like we hear those voices more. We hear those negative thoughts more than the positive ones. But when you start to ignore everything that is negative and believe, but I can take my dream from this to this and work on it, I would advise you to start finding the people who can help you carry that dream forward. Because you always have supporters. There will always be people who they want to see you succeed. So once you start finding that audience, start finding those people, you stick to them, and that's how you make it. But one thing, if you feel you are not satisfied with what you're doing, find a way to move from it. Because I did, and I'm thankful for that. I did, and that moving from it opened more opportunities for me, because I have moved from the sciences to the humanities, and now I'm in an option in where I can choose to study almost anything I want as well, aside from humanities. So when you can have that something saying where you feel where it would restrict you if you do it alone, but try to excel at it, because excelling at it is going to open opportunities to even those things that you thought you lost. Just try to find something, that one thing saying where means everything to you, and excel at it. Once you do that, then I think where everything should align. Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Estera, for those who are interested in following you, how can they get into contact with you?
They can reach me more LinkedIn, Keratile Israel. I do have Facebook page, Moses K. Israel, but I'm not really that social. So it's mostly just LinkedIn. Yeah.
All right. Okay. No, thank you so much for coming to the show, man.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
So thank you so much, everyone, for watching this show up until the end. I really believe that you have benefited something from this video of this. I'll see you on the next episode.